Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff channel. In today's video, we're going to look at the round 5 review and our initial thoughts going into the round 6 Easter weekend. So, a bit of an earlier video this week due to the school holidays having started here in Queensland. Um, so, change of venue too. I'm actually visiting the family, so unfortunately, they've all had to go off to work and do their thing during the day. So I thought I'd punch out some content and just then enjoy the day off. So I guess what I am also enjoying is the score. So 1,307, easily our best score for the year, um, and possibly one of our best round ranks. Although it does say we're down 2,000 from last week. So interesting. Um, but yeah, snuck into the top 30k. So we are slowly moving our way up the overall. Um, and yeah, into the top 20% too, which is a nice little win. So if we have a look at the team and how it went, so I think maybe this is why I thought it was also my best score, even though it clearly wasn't. 3 out of 3 league wins. So finally had a couple of results go my way. But you can see Harry Grant, 81. You know, that 1 week blip is now out of the system. Still in the 3 round average system, but we're not selling him anytime soon, so that's not a stress. Brandon Smith, so I'm pretty sure that's his best score for the year as well, 52. So he has lost a bit of cash, but if we have a bit of a look, so yeah, so his 10 that he got against the Warriors will now be out of his average, so he's break even. 25, you know, that's easily achievable. Um, and yeah, no, playing against the Storm, so he could be up for a big one too. Hopefully he is. So Joey Tarpany, 61. So you know he's chugging along with those 60s. We like that. That's the reason he's in the team. Stefano got a run in the starting side because of Tohu Harris's late withdrawal. You know, 43. He's still doing well. But you can see he's now getting to the point where his average and break even are leveling out. So if we do want to upgrade that front row slot, we might be able to access his cash sooner rather than later. But as a sort of third front row option, he's still more than okay, I think. Kepi, so 38. You know, his average is a little bit lower, but his break even's still good, so we'll hold him. He also has that dual position flexibility, so we might even try to find a way to flick him into the second row at some point in the near future. Excuse me. So Cam Murray with the 88, so pretty sure that was his best score for the year if we scroll down. Yes, it was. Obviously started well with the 84 and then it's been a bit flat. And quite a few people traded him out in order to get Hines in, um, which did net you a few extra points, but then obviously you've missed out on Murray's points. Hopgood, 47. So if we have a look at his output, so, you know, he's sort of starting to get to that place where, you know, this is going to be his base. He actually dropped a bit of cash this week. What's his break even looking like? Yeah, it's okay. They are playing the Tigers, so, you know, he has every chance of getting over the try line and kicking up in price again. But I think, you know, maybe like this sort of scoring in the last 3 weeks is more what you could expect than this sort of scoring in the first two. Jackson Ford, 43. So, you know, that's fine. You know, he should now have a nice negative break even. There you go, -10. That 4 that he scored will be out of the system. So now he'll really start pushing up in price. Jacob Preston, how good was that? Tunning up, 2 tries with a busted hand. Made us, what, another 70k, 80k, 275k for the year. I don't know, I've got one mate who missed the boat on him. he would be absolutely filthy. I should send him a message. Um, but yeah, 5 day turnaround to the game against South, so he could actually miss this week with that hand injury. So it's just one to keep an eye on and try to have a plan in terms of if he doesn't get up. Schuster, we brought him in, but then he was a sort of late withdrawal with the injury. But that's okay. We just wanted to access the cash, so he's fine. As soon as he plays again, he will start making money, and we're not stressed about that position at this point in time. So then to the half. So Hines turned up in the end. I think a couple of updates helped him out there. And Nathan Cleary, 124, so clearly his best result for the year. So I know a few people doing the Cleary to Hines trade, getting out of Cleary. That's why you don't trade a gun if you can avoid it. I say that, and then obviously the Tedesco trade I did earlier has already paid off handsomely. Dylan Brown's only a 50. We would have liked a little bit more, but you know we're happy to keep him. You know, I think how did Dewey go in the end? Lost a bit of cash. So 41. So we did make a few points on that trade, and then obviously we didn't. Well, 46. What did Dylan Brown drop? 47. So cash is about the same either way. So that's fine. We talked about getting Brown in because of the lack of origin and the good buys that Para have got. So that's fine. And Qatar with a 40. So it looks like Milford had an injury. I didn't see the Dolphins Dragons game, but I guess any sort of chance that he wasn't going to be the main man, that got wiped out fairly quick. So, he's still making some cash. Might be a bit of a slower burn, but, that's fine. We've always got Schuster that we can fling in there if a better option does come up. But I think we can hold Qatar for the time being. So then to the backs, so Kiraz 76 again, just his running, tackle busting, offloading best. Excuse me. The hammer, so 43. I guess that's symptomatic of the Dolphins and the lack of perhaps direction in the halves that they would have had. And so because of that, Sean O'Sullivan's out for a while. He might actually be a trade out this week. So what he's made us, well, he's made 160k. I think when did we get on? I can't remember. I feel like we got on before the first price rise. So, I guess if you sort of target that 150k in profit, he's made that for us. So we're happy with that. Nickel Clockstad 74. So, yeah, he was really good. And the Warriors are looking really good. So, yeah, very happy with that. Again, he's another one like Ford. Yeah, negative break even. That 13 that he got will be missing from the 3 round average now, so he'll continue to move up in cash. Tyrell Sloan, so we did play him for a reason that we thought maybe the Dolphins would be a bit suspect, and yeah, he got over the try line. I think he was a bit more involved too, from what I understand. So let's have a look at his stats. So obviously the try, a couple of line breaks helped, but slight increase in runs. The offloads I think might have helped out there too. A couple of tackle breaks, which is nice. So, he should have a nice break even still. 33 is not the greatest, but, one more week and that low score will be out. Alamotti, so I think he was unlucky to get 40. He did quite well in the other formats. Let's have a look. He probably had a few errors, perhaps. No, just didn't get the love from the stats guys, but that's okay. 40 is fine. He was only brought in as a reserve because of Tohu out. I couldn't bring in these guys, unfortunately, as they had already played by the time I found out. So Warbrick 58. I think he got over for another try. That's right, he did that nice little shrugged off the. Who'd they play? I watched it. I don't remember. South, that's right. Brushed off Alex Johnston. Isaiah Tass gave him the big don't argue. So that was nice to see too. Tommy Turbo, so 106. So probably, wouldn't have made too much out of the VC loophole. Perhaps maybe Kepi's 38 was comparable to Alamotti's 40. Might have been worth a few points, but that's fine. But yeah, we'll take the ton either way. And Taruva was 63, so obviously scored a couple of tries, which was nice to see as part of the Penrith machine back up and running. So his cash gen's going to kick again. So in terms of the trades this week, it's really starting to think about how we want the team to look going into the bye. So because if you look through the team, I'll bring Harris back into the starting side. Oh, excuse me. And we'll swap Hopgood and Murray. Actually, no, sorry, Ford is the one that needs to swap. Yeah, and aside from that, that's pretty much the full strength side on any given week, assuming they're all playing. Obviously, Hines isn't this week, so we're pretty happy with the front row there. The second row, we've got two guns, and then got a couple of guys that we could consider holding for the rest of the season. In reality, um, then obviously the cheapies there, which is fine. Uh, Obviously, two gun halfbacks there, they're set and forget. We've got one of the guys we want in 5'8" locked in. In terms of the wing centre, probably only Kiraz I'd say is an out and out keeper. Yeah, Clockstad would be the closest I think to these guys that we would want to keep. Um, a little glitch there, and then these guys are all just making cash. As I said, Hammer was sort of in that conversation as well, but with Sean O'Sullivan out, I think he's gonna be the one to make way sooner rather than later. And then obviously, we're still only running one gun fullback. So in terms of looking at our final sort of squad and what we're after, we're chasing a fullback, we're chasing, well, let's say three centre wings, because we do want at least one to be able to replace throughout um, the season with buys and whatever. Uh, Obviously, second 5'8", and we know that's going to be Cam Munster eventually. Probably another second rower. So, if you consider these two to be a gun second rower and a cheapie in terms of price, we then want an extra one on the bench and probably an extra front row forward upgrade. So, having the ability to swing like Tohu or Tarpany into the center wing, second row, sorry, and just having that third gun front rower. Stefano's doing the job for now, but talking, when we talk about a full team, that guy, and obviously upgrading him as well. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So sort of 8 upgrades. So, we're well on track with our 36 trades. It's just about how we want to go about that. So what I'm thinking about this week, I'll just have a quick look at the break evens too. This is literally the first look I've had since it unlocked. I've gone super early on this because of the school holiday. So normally I'd be sitting at work during the lesson doing this. Don't tell the parents that. So yeah, I mean, can't. I was about to say it's time to go, but that's still a negative break even. Same with Warbrick. Same with Alamotti. So Sloan, yeah, like I said, he's got that bad game that'll come out. The Hammer's the one I'm worried about. So 49 break even. What's he averaging? 62, and that's with Sean O'Sullivan in the side. And yeah, he's made us that 150, so that's fine. Clock starts negative break even. Taruva's break even at 1. So that's all good. Yeah, so yeah, I mean in terms of the trades this week, well let's just see if we trade the hammer out. Let's go to break evens and see what's good. So Marzu's got the lowest break even there. Alright, none of that. We've got all the negatives. Let's just look at cross positions. So Zach Hoskins, so he scored an 80. So he's a really nice option to flip. If we can somehow work a second rower out. So Jack Johns, that's a surprising one. 72. He must have played some big minutes for the Knights. They did have the golden point game. Oh no, only 40. What did he score a try? Oh yeah, he scored a try. There you go. Probably not worth that much of a look then. Tommy Chester, again, would be nice. Sean Johnson, if we hadn't already loaded up, would have been nice. Sean Bloor, so that's an interesting one for anyone that had him and sold. He did look good from what I saw in the Tigers game. Didn't expect him to play, and he cracked out a 60. Hands, I wouldn't have thought so. So, you know, you do always have this Isaac Farsumalawa. I can never say that last name. Big Isaac. Sorry, Isaac. And the family, that I can't get their name right. Yeah, after that, it's starting to get into the positives. So, you know, actually, there's the filter, isn't there? Less than 3 games. Let's see who's on the bubble. So, yeah, we've gone through all them. Morgan Harper got a 90 first game back. That's interesting. Tommy Eisenhuth, so my man from the preseason. That's, I guess, what I was expecting from him. 50s. So that looks like that's going to come to fruition. But we don't have to go on him this week. Yeah, after that, I don't think there's anything too tempting. Once you start getting up around the 20s, you're looking at guns anyway. Alright, well, maybe it's one of those weeks where we could just potentially hold fire. What about Lemuelu? How did he go? He's already made 100k, which hurts. Another 50. You know, you could just bank on that, I think, week in, week out. 425. What? So we could actually make money on that trade. So bank a bit of cash. There's a dual position as well, which could actually work with a Tom Eisenhuth sort of style. So maybe we look at that. Doe out. Lemuelu in. Alright. I mean, it doesn't really make us a lot of money towards a Stefano or anything. What was his break even? I didn't even really look at that, to be honest. 21, so you still make a bit of cash. Obviously not the 150, but yeah, if he keeps playing those big minutes on the edge, maybe tempted by it. And yeah, so at the moment, I think maybe the plan is just to hold. So for Doe, he won't lose cash, will he? No, he could. That's a real 50-50. And yeah, just looking through the list, like yeah, nothing really stands out in terms of injuries and stuff. Like the Bulldogs had a lot of injuries, but still, it's all in their forwards. So um, yeah, no young backs coming in there. All right, maybe we just sit and observe for another week. Like I said, we can always downgrade him to a Tom Eisenhuth next week. That'll free up a couple of 100k. How much is Payne Haas? Because he'd be the target in the front row. 747. He's probably still going upwards. But that's all right. Yeah, so yeah, really, I guess when you take it away, I think the squad's looking really good. You know, the rank overall is not where we want, but you know, when you look at, we've essentially got close to a full strength starting team, and you know that's if you include, you know, like Cleary on the bench and that sort of thing too. It's just about giving these guys time to cash, fully grow in their cash gen, and then trade them out if we can. Yeah, so I'm thinking about Hosking again and how to get him in the side. Maybe what's Katoa 21? We couldn't do it with. They don't have the money. It'd have to be like a Hopgood, which is not ideal, but could also be. You know, might just be exactly the right time to trade him out too. I think it's the thing with Hopgood, a bit like Dylan Brown, is they do have those good buys. But he's actually a sneaky shout for the Queensland Origin team too, so that actually makes his buys worse because he misses out on more games. Mm. Alright, well, we might just wrap the video up there rather than just watching me contemplate life. So feel free to comment if you've got any suggestions on what trades should be made this week. As I said, I can't see too many. Maybe the Fedota Lemuelu, just you know, just to have that more solid base in the centre wing. But in saying that, you know, my centre wings are going pretty good, I feel. Obviously, you know, the amount of cash they're all making. It's the reason why we went so cheap to start with. Yeah, or, you know, do we trade out Hopgood? If you've got thoughts on that, again, give us a comment. If you're loving the content, um, as ad lib and off the cuff as it is, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel. You know, we're covering all the bases here in terms of NRL, fantasy, sports deck, even AFL SuperCoach. Um, yeah, and other than that, thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.